Your thoughts, your feelings, your energy can affect everything around you. They affect whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are in a healthy or an unhealthy relationship, what doors of opportunity are open for you. You create your own reality, and that is where it really started to sink in. If you're still sitting there like, Morgan, you're bullshit. This is bullshit. You do not create your own reality. Your reality is your reality. I take you back to your reality is your perception. Hey witches, welcome to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy, a magical living podcast for the busy witch. I'm Morgan, eclectic witch of almost 25 years, Avalon priestess, and busy witch. Here we'll talk all things witchy, from current metaphysical happenings to my busy witch tips and tricks, and everything in the in-between. This podcast is my personal journey, filled with my knowledge, opinions, and unique way of looking at the world. Join me as I weave the magical and the mundane in every episode. Hey witches, welcome back to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy. I'm Morgan, and today we are talking about creating your reality, how you create your reality. Okay, so this concept has been coming up a lot on social media lately in the form of what I've seen people like witches who are either very discouraged because they feel like their magic doesn't work or their spells aren't working or what they're trying to manifest is not moving forward. Or I've also been seeing it from like extremely anxiety-filled people because of what's going on around them. And they're internalizing it so much that they're unable to function, you know? And both of these things have in common the underlying idea or the underlying thought of the fact that you do create your own reality, okay? That is what today's episode is about. And I truly began to understand this about a year ago, okay? Year and a half ago, when I really started in my deep diving shadow working journey. And at this point in my life, it's spiritual law to me. Okay. It is a concept that, like, when I say you create your own reality, when I started out with this concept, I immediately rejected it. And I said, that's bullshit. So if you're there right now, you're like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit, Morgan. You know, if that's what you're thinking, I promise you, just listen to the episode with an open mind, which we'll get to. And just hear me out, because this is something, now that I have lived it for over a year, I've had fun with it. I've been able to create things that I never would have thought that I would have created. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be sharing today, is my journey with this concept that you create your own reality. The number one piece of advice that I have for it, the easiest way to accept this concept or really truly live this concept, and all that good stuff. So let's dive right in. I will start that this, like I said before, this concept I immediately rejected, and I will explain why. About 4 years ago, I was recommended the book Existential Kink, and yes, that's K-I-N-K, as like a shadow working deep dive book on how to create your own reality. Now, hold on one second before you're hitting pause and going to add it to your Amazon cart. I have a love-hate relationship with this book, okay? So this was 4 years ago. The book is great for understanding shadows and how your shadows can manifest for you, and how to get to the bottom of recurring patterns of behavior in your life, or recurring themes in your life. So if there's something that keeps popping up for you, keeps triggering you, keeps happening over and over again, and you're like, oh my God, why does this keep happening to me? That book is a really good place to start, because it really deep dives into shadow working, but understanding the power that your shadows can have over you. So when I read it 4 years ago, I took all of that to heart. I really, truly understood that part of the book. Okay. And that is a part that to me still rings true for today, to today. Okay. Now, at one point in the book, the author tries to say, she's describing a concept of you create your own reality and you attract things to you because you have this little tiny kink about them. Somewhere within your psyche, the things that you're drawing to you create pleasure. And she goes into saying, oh, don't think that I'm saying that horrible, like mass shootings or, trauma or abuse, like it's something that you wished. Don't think that I'm saying that, but I'm saying that. That's basically what this chapter is about. And that's where the author and I completely disagree on that fundamental concept. Okay. I do not believe that everything that happens to a person they attracted or they created as part of their reality. I believe that shit happens to people. Okay. I believe that accidents happen. I believe that trauma and horrible things can happen to people. Okay. I do not believe that you wanted to be assaulted if you've been assaulted. I don't believe that you wanted to have your loved one die if they had died in a traumatic way. I don't believe that you wanted to have that accident that, caused your life to forever be different. I don't believe that you wanted a cancer diagnosis, okay? I don't believe that. I believe shit happens to people, okay? Now, what I do believe is that once it's time for you to move through whatever it is that happened to you, that what happens next and how you decide to proceed forward with your life, that is when you can create your reality. Okay. But I want to make very clear in this episode that I do not believe that you attract shit happening to you. And I mean like horrible, horrible, horrible shit, okay? Because of some deep-seated thing where you love this. I do not believe that, okay? So that's why I have a love-hate relationship with this book, Existential Kink, because the shadow working concepts and understanding how deep-seated things can manifest for you, especially when it comes to repeating patterns. That's the key, I think, that if you can read this book, knowing that basically what she's talking about is like, if you're a person that always seems to have, like every single time you get money, something happens and you have to spend the money, then there is a money wound there that you should get to the bottom of, because it's just going to continue to happen until you learn that lesson. Or if you keep picking the exact same type of guy, thinking that the next one's going to be different, but they're all assholes and all pieces of shit, then you need to get to the bottom of that attraction, because there's something in there that is causing some kind of pleasure, or else it would have stopped. Okay. So that the book is great for that. I do not agree with other aspects of that book. Okay. So if you decide to read it with that caveat, if you have not read it before. But I definitely want to put that to rest right now. I do not believe that you want bad shit to happen to you. Okay. So I think that what happened is when I read this book and I understood the shadow working concepts of this book, but then we get to the you create your own reality part of this book. And that's where she says, oh, well, you attract to you things that secretly you get off on, including trauma. And I didn't agree with that. I think I went, oh, well, this whole creating your reality thing is bullshit. So I think that's what happened. And I swung into the you create your own reality thing as complete and utter bullshit. I just discounted it because I didn't believe with this. I didn't see eye to eye with this one person's perspective of it. Okay. Because you have to understand, this was my like introduction to that. Okay. So fast forward to last year, I started deep shadow working with an energy and mindset business coach. And the idea was presented again. Okay. You create your own reality. You are a woman who always gets what she wants. You do attract things and situations, especially repeatedly. If you're repeatedly attracting something, then yes, there's something behind that. Okay. Your thoughts, your feelings, your energy can affect everything around you. They affect whether you are rich, whether you are poor. whether you are in a healthy or an unhealthy relationship, what doors of opportunity are open for you, okay? You create your own reality. You create all of this. And that is where it really started to sink in, okay? If you're still sitting there like, Morgan, you're bullshit. This is bullshit. You do not create your own reality. Your reality is your reality. I take you back to your reality is your perception, okay? Two people, and I know I've screamed this on the podcast before. Two people can be going through the exact same situation, okay? And it could be a traumatic thing. It could be a not traumatic thing, okay? Two people are going to go through the exact same situation. And those two people are going to have different things that happen to them because of that, okay? They have different ways of looking at it. They have different ways of coping with it. They have different ways of moving forward, okay? A beautiful example of this, and another way that this has popped up for me a lot lately, and this actually, I don't have it in my notes, but it's going to be a beautiful segue into the next part, okay? Right now is the busy season in our business, okay? Our busy season starts about September and it lasts until about January, okay? Everyone here is stressed. Everyone here is stressed, okay? Everyone here is on the verge of burnout, okay? I am faring a lot better than others because number one, I have like one of my best friends is a burnout prevention, so Miss Megan Winkler helps me out a lot on my mindset and on not burning out and on recognizing burnout. But I mean, even my actual business coach, Astrid, she has helped me a lot with mindset and not burning out, or at least resting or, getting to it before I hit burnout. But another part of this that it's frustrating for me to be going through, but I understand it, is, it's, how do I say this? Okay, everyone here, let me get back on track. There we go. Let's kind of back up. Everyone here is stressed out. Everyone here is frustrated. Everyone here is making mistakes. The go of the busy season, the increased volume of orders, the increased volume of products, all of this, it's just a busy season. It's stressful. It's what it is. Okay. This is my mindset through it. Like if you all are watching me on YouTube, I have a huge smile on my face because this is my dream. This store is my dream. This business is my dream. I am living my dream every single day. And I wake up in the morning with that appreciation for the fact that I get to do what I love every single day. Are there aspects of my job, of my dream, that suck worse than others? Of course, I fucking hate mundane shit. I like doing my podcast. I like creating things for the coven. I like designing or creating things for the boxes. I like creation, okay? You sit me down and you make me order labels or place an inventory order, and I'm like, that I don't like it at all, okay? But Colin, this is not his dream. He retired from the military, came on here full time. This is not his passion. This is not his dream. He enjoys watching his wife live her dream and supporting her on her dream. But he doesn't wake up every single day ready to tackle the day because this is my dream. And I see problems as solutions. I see issues as weak places that we can improve upon. I see communication breakdowns as I'm grateful for them because they show us how we can improve the communication in here and what systems are breaking down. So when shit happens, I'm a human. I have emotions. And I will express them. I get pissed as shit when products are found on the shelf that are not on any spreadsheet. I get pissed as shit when somebody tells me, hey, I did this, and they didn't do it. I'm human. But I also can look at those things with an open mind and with a, okay, I get it. This is a breakdown. So we need to put a structure in place here. This is not working the way that it's going right now, so we need to change it, okay? And not everyone here has that same mindset as me. Some people do, some people don't. Some people just show up to collect a paycheck, my son. Anyway, you know what I mean? But Colin doesn't wake up. So he's a little bit more prone to burnout, especially this time of year. He's more in the mindset of this is like same shit, different day. You know, he comes to work, he does orders, he answers emails. To him, it's just, you know, he's just kind of here doing what needs to be done, doing what needs to be, you know, what is asked of him, but he doesn't have the same passion and same spark that I do. You know, it doesn't mean he hates it here. I don't want you to think that like I'm keeping this man in a miserable state. He likes being able, like if we're having a tough day, we go home. You know, if he doesn't want to be at work at 9, we sleep in a little bit. You know, these are things that you can't do unless you work for yourself, you know? So this is, once you truly grasp what I'm about to go over with you, you understand how, like, because I have this mindset, because I view things this way, I have a lot more things open up for me. We'll get to it. Let's get to it. Okay. Creating your reality comes down to one main idea or belief. I truly believe this. One main idea, and that is your mindset is everything. Okay. And that's where I was going. My mindset when it comes to my business is completely open, completely positive. I see problems as weaknesses that we can improve upon. I see issues as things that we can improve upon to move forward. And other people here don't have that same mindset. So they see failures as setbacks, okay? And it's your mindset. Your mindset is what creates your reality. And that's what I mean by like, with my mindset being so open here at the business, it takes a lot for me to get burned out. It takes repeated shit happening for me to get burned out or for me to get weighed down. And I might get weighed down for 2.5 seconds and then my brain is just into, okay, what did this tell me? What do I need to see? What do I need to take a step back and look at? Okay. So that's how I'm creating my reality and moving forward. Okay. But your mindset is everything. Your mindset directs your energy. Your mindset sets your vibrational frequency. Your mindset dictates how you move forward in life. Your mindset controls what types of people, places, and things come into your life, okay? I understand that there are like a myriad of mindset frames of mind that you can be in, but it all boils down to two. And that is having a closed mindset or having an open mindset. And yes, your mindset overall in life can be a certain way, but it can also be a certain way with certain situations, okay? So if you're generally a very open person, especially when listening to my podcast and when I'm talking about magic and when I'm talking about, you know, being a feral witch and all of that, and you're open, but right now you're like, Morgan, I do not create my own reality. Please get to the fucking point. You have a closed mindset right now, but you're still listening. So that means that you have a curious mindset, which is actually an open mindset, okay? Let's do it, all right? I'm going to start with the closed mindset because this is the one that stops your manifestation. This is the one that stops your magic, okay? And this is what a lot of shadow working goes into, all right? Is if you have one belief inside, but you're trying to manifest something else, it's not going to manifest because you're not on board. Your mind, body, soul's not on board, okay? When you have a closed mindset, people who have a closed mindset see the world through fear, limitation, scarcity, and the illusion of control, okay? So if you are a control freak, I might trigger some people here, but I'm going to move forward because this is also some things I've noticed this week. And why I want to talk about this so much. If you are a control freak, if you have to have things a certain way and when things don't go your way, you flip out. That is because you are living from a place of scarcity. You are so scared of something, not being within your control. You are so scared of something happening in a way that you can't anticipate. That is why you are trying to control everything around you, because you do not feel like you have control over what's going on inside of you. Okay, so you try to control your environment. All right. There are people who view things in the world with like shit happens, and they're like, shit happens. And then there's other people, it rocks their entire world. There's definitely, if you're very, 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 very control freak, all of that, I highly recommend therapy to help you have that mindset, have that mindset shift. But yeah, if you're trying to over control things, it's because you feel like you don't have control over what's happening inside of you emotionally. Okay. People with a closed mindset cling to the old stories like this always happens to me, or I can't do this, or I'm not good at this. Okay. People with a closed mindset reject opportunities that feel unfamiliar, uncertain, or uncomfortable. Doesn't matter if there could be a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. The rainbow is new and scary, and therefore I am not going towards it. Okay. Person with a closed mindset or a closed mindset results in low vibrational frequency or a low vibrational state like scarcity, victimhood, or comparison. You're always comparing yourself to other people around you. Okay. Why don't I have what they have? Why do things always go wrong for me, but they go right for them? Why does this person's Instagram look so much more amazing? Their witchcraft practice looks so much more amazing than mine. I must not be a real witch. These are things. And scarcity, the scarcity comes from, or how scarcity, if you're living in a state of scarcity, then you want to hold on to everything that you have. And you want to hold on to it with a hell of a lot of control because you're scared you're going to lose it. Okay. So this is what a lot of money issues come from, is scarcity. Okay. Energetically, a closed mindset says, I'm not available for growth. Do not continue moving forward. To stop here. We're not interested in your change. Thank you. Okay. A closed mindset completely distorts what you have and the opportunities before you because your energy is closed off and you repel any possible opportunities. So what happens now is you're just creating a self-fulfilling loop of negativity. Okay. You're closed off to new opportunities. Therefore, new opportunities don't come to you, which then reinforces the, well, shit never goes well for me. So then it just closes off your energy more, which keeps opportunity. You see how this just continues to go into a spiral downward? Yes. Okay. I'm going to tell a very quick story. We had a crystal subscription box a few years ago. We've done it a few times. And I do remember very distinctly one month, we sent out these absolutely gorgeous, I believe they were Mookite gemstone tiles. And Mookite jasper is like, it ranges from a gorgeous purple to like a mustard yellow. And it has like striations all the way from like this reddish purple to this mustard yellow. And we ended up with a case of them from the Tucson Gem Show. So we were using them for the inked crystals, and everyone got mailed out one with a little card, a Book of Shadows page. Anyway, they were all sharing on the customer Facebook group the pictures of theirs that they had received. And I will never forget that one of our customers immediately said, well, mine looks nothing like anybody else's and I want a refund. And she emailed us and let us know how unhappy she was with her specimen and how it looked like nobody else's. And she was appalled at how different hers looked from everyone else's. Everyone else's was gorgeous and hers was horrible, and she wanted a refund. She was crying over this. Okay. We asked for a picture. Of course we asked for a picture because we're not going to send out a shitty gemstone. So what came back to us was she had gotten one out of 100 different Mookite tiles that we had mailed out. There were 3 that were dendritic mookaite. And what that is, dendritic means tree-like. Her mookaite had this gorgeous veining through it that looked like a sunset of like trees, like a sunset silhouette of trees. And it was actually, and as soon as she sent that picture, I was like, that was my favorite piece, because I know, I have the knowledge that what we sent out to three people got a rare piece of mookaite, and 97 people got a regular piece of mookaite. Okay. So she was looking at all these people's pictures without this black line through it. But this black line is what made it rare. It was a black line that made it look like trees. And for whatever reason, she saw that as completely hideous and ugly, and she wanted a refund. So that is a closed mindset person. She saw that everybody else's didn't have this black line and assumed something was wrong with hers because of her mindset. Her mindset told her everybody else's is way cooler than mine. So my guess would be that this person goes through life with a little bit of an Eeyore cloud over their head. Okay. And they don't see the good. They don't see the possibility in things. Okay. So once we messaged her back and let her know you had one of three rare pieces, and that's a dendritic mookaite, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's more rare than everyone else's, she calmed down and was like, oh, okay, thank you, and just accepted her mookaite. But her first initial reaction was one of a closed mindset. Okay. So that's where I'm talking about. You don't see the opportunities before you. You just immediately see, oh, this is different, so it must be bad. That's a closed mindset. Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, an open mindset embraces curiosity, evolution, and possibility as main energies. Okay. Open mindset holds failures as feedbacks, not as identity. Okay. A failure does not set you down and make you stop 100% like, oh my God, I don't even know why I tried this. A failure is a way for you to tweak it. Okay. Open mindset is willing to rewrite internal narratives. Okay. I am famous for saying right now, I don't like this, but I'm willing to change it. Like I'm open to change. I don't know how to change it, but I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I'm open to how do we change it? Let me know. And I'm talking to myself, my higher self, my guides, people around me. Like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So how do we fix it? How do we change this? Okay. An open mindset aligns with higher frequencies like trust, creativity, and expansion. Okay. And an open mindset energetically says, I'm ready to receive. Okay. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I think I jotted it down, but I want you all to know in your body that a closed mindset, and you can have, like I said, you can have a closed mindset when it comes to certain situations. Okay. Maybe you have a closed mindset when it comes to work, but you have an open mindset when it comes to relationships or something. Okay. A closed mindset, when anything hits you or when anything happens, you immediately want to cower and you want to get smaller. You're like, no, because you're protecting yourself. That's your body's natural response to protect you. Okay. When you have an open mindset, you want to just put your arms out and you're like, yeah, baby, let's do it. Let's go. All right. So I want you moving forward to really be conscious of when things come in. Do you do this? And look, if your initial reaction is like this, but you're trying, you want to change this, you want to get into a more open mindset, then have that reflex and then go, oh, no, because your mindset is a choice. Your mindset is a choice until you shift it, and then it just becomes natural. So when something comes in, if you find yourself and you're like, no, I want to be an open mindset, put yourself into that power position. Open your arms, open your chest, and stand there and then think about it. It shifts your whole everything, shifts your energy when you go from being in to being out and being open. Okay. So to swing it back around, the ability to create your reality is as open as your mind is. If that was going to be a soundbite, I messed up that one too. All right. Once I truly grasped this concept and I shifted my mindset to an open one of curiosity and expansion, things changed so much for me. Okay. It dropped deep within me, this mindset shift of openness and understanding that I create my reality. It dropped deep. When it hits, it hits. It slams you like a ton of bricks. It falls so deep down into your core that it becomes part of your root chakra. Okay? I love that I guess visualization of where you feel something in your body is how deep it goes into your being. All right. If something lands and it only stops here, you feel it in your chest, you're only accepting it in your heart chakra. Okay. If something hits you in your gut, there you go. That's hitting you in your power center. That's hitting you in your solar plexus or your sacral chakra or even your root chakra. And once you can adopt a shift all the way down to your root chakra, you've now shifted your complete identity. If you can take an idea, a belief, and you can pull it all the way into you, down into your root chakra, oh man, you're a completely new person. You're a completely new person. You are a new person in a new world, walking a new timeline of opportunity in front of them. So I want you to start opening yourself to these changes, these shifts, and I want you to see how deep can you pull it down into yourself. Okay. That's when I realized, when I adopted this and it went deep, it went straight to my root. When I finally got it, when it finally clicked, I understand now. I understood then, and moving forward, I choose whether I see things as roadblocks or things to work through. I choose what things I allow to upset me and what things to let go. I choose how I respond to things, whether that's in my power or reactive as a product of fear or scarcity. You have the decision every single step of the way. Some things might be reactive, and we're human, something happens, just like something happens, I get pissed here at the shop, and then I feel that pissedness, I let it process, I take a deep breath, and then I make the choice. Okay, how am I going to move forward now? Okay. This is how you create your reality. You make choice after choice after choice based on being open-minded, based on being the person that you want to be, based on embodying the energy of who you truly want to be. That is how you create a reality. Once you make that mindset shift, you see the world differently. You are open to opportunities. You celebrate more. You stress less because you can let go of things that are not in your control. And you trust in yourself and your path more. Okay? When I said at the beginning that a lot of my social media feed is a lot of people who are riddled with so much anxiety of what's happening in the world around them that they cannot function. If you are not, I've said this most recently, if you are not going to do anything about it, then let it go. If it is not affecting you, like personally, if it's not affecting you at this moment right now, directly affecting you. If you're watching it on the news, you have the choice to turn the news off. Does that make you a cold person? Does it make you uncompassionate? It 100% doesn't. It does not. Okay. There is a thing as compassion fatigue. So if you cannot do anything about, or if you are not going to do anything about the things that you are so worried about happening in the world, if you're not going to do anything about them, then let them go. They are doing nothing but causing you suffering, and that is a choice. Okay? So I'm going to tell another quick story here. We're about to wrap it up. With everything going on, okay, we have a lot of shifts because I am shifting so much, and I have shifted so much in the last year. But especially there's been a lot of things that have happened this year that are just crazy, okay? And because I am constantly shifting, and this business is a spiritual part of who I am, the business is going through a lot of shifts right now, okay? A lot of new territory, a lot of what the fuck, where did that come from? A lot of, oh shit, that's a problem that keeps coming up. We need to fix it. So one of the things is Colin and I are not quite on the same page as how to move forward after all of these shifts, okay? I have what I want to do, and he's a grounded Taurus, Taurus sun, Taurus moon. My man only looks at numbers, and that's it. The numbers tell him. He doesn't feel the energy. He doesn't feel what I feel. Doesn't feel the excitement. He doesn't, I have an intuition playing into all of this. I have so much trust in my path in the universe and the signs and signals that I've been given and the opportunities that I'm taking. I have so much trust, okay? He's got numbers. So we're clashing right now on quite a few things, but a lot of it is that we have not gotten together and sat down and clearly communicated everything, okay, to understand that we are pretty much on the same page, okay? It's just we have different ways of getting there, So he tells me the other day, he says, all right, he's like, I hear what you're saying. We're trying to talk about it. We're trying to see eye to eye. He's like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to print out some numbers for you. And then I want you to look at the numbers, and I want you to be honest about them. And I'm like, okay, but it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. And he goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, if you're going to show me a lot of numbers and they're not great, I'm going to only see possibilities. I'm going to see, okay, well, this looks like this is what needs to happen here, and this needs to happen here, and this is what needs to happen here. I'm only going to figure out solutions because you're just going to hand me a sheet of possibilities. And he's like, is that really how you look at it? I was like, it is. I'm an optimist, I guess, but this is my mindset, is I need to be let known what's going on in my business. I need to be made known of these things. And actually, we spent quite a few years keeping me in the dark because we didn't want it to affect my energy. I didn't want to see a loss one month or less subscribers to our subscription box one month and spiral. But now I don't spiral anymore. So now I've got the foundation under me because of this open mindset. I had a closed mindset before. I was scared to lose the business. I was scared to piss customers off. I was scared, so scared to say or do the wrong thing that would lose us one single customer. And that's how I was running the business. And things kept tanking. So once I realized and I opened myself up to, you know what? I need to open myself up. I need to shine my light of who I truly am. And then that will be a beacon to the people that truly resonate with us in our business. So I open myself up. So now I can see, okay, we've lost a few subscribers. I've lost some Ink Spirit members. What does that mean? That means I need to tweak my messaging. That means, are our expenses too high? Are we buying too much shit? All right, let's cut it back. Let's make more stuff. This is my mindset. I don't see the negative things as they don't cripple me. They don't bring me to my knees. They don't make me go, oh my God, why do I even bother to do this? I see them as room for ways we can improve within the business, ways we can move forward. And that's completely my mindset shift. And because of that, I create reality. I create opportunities for moving forward, like Inked Magazine contacting us and wanting to feature us in their editorial. Like, what the fuck? I never would have imagined that in a million years. And yet it happened, So how to help this shift. This is my two biggest pieces of advice. Number one, curiosity mindset. Reframe everything into what if. Our brains are wired for survival. Our brains are wired to pick out the threats around us and react in a way that keeps us alive. Okay? Threat, run from it. Threat, fight it. Threat, cower and hide. Okay? This is what our brains do. And for the most part, most of us, especially if you're sitting here listening to a podcast, you're not in any immediate danger. You're not in a situation where your brain has to go, that person's going to hurt me, this animal's going to kill me, this lava over here might be hot if I touch it. You're not going to be sitting here listening to my podcast if you have shit going on around you that you need to run from. Okay? So, our brains are wired to detect threats and react for survival. So, it's only going to be looking at the negative. It's a way to keep you protected. Okay? So, if you can start to rewire your brain to see things from a point of curiosity or a what if mind frame, it's so easy to what if horrible things. Well, what if I continue to lose subscribers to the box and customers and Ink Spirit members, and then the business starts to plummet, and then we have to fire everyone? And what if I have to then close the business, or what if I have to move it back into my house? And then, oh my God, what if this causes such a strain between Colin and I that we end up divorced? Do you see how most people what if that way? But no one what ifs up, okay? What if we get contacted by another major publication to be featured in it? What if somehow I get on Drew Barrymore's radar because she's my absolute icon and she asks me to be on her show, and bam, our business just becomes mainstream to billions of people and I get to talk to Drew Barrymore because I would cry the whole time. I think she really is an icon of mine, you guys, seriously. And I'm just sitting here thinking about what if I was even asked not to be on her show, but even just on remotely, on a Zoom call on her show. Oh my God, I could virtually meet Drew Barrymore. Anyway, your brain's never what if that way. Or when you were a kid and you were what ifing that way, you were told to stop daydreaming. Remember that shit? Get your head out of the clouds, get more grounded. No, that's why we don't what if up. We only what if down. Okay? So view things with curiosity and what if up. Okay? What if I got everything I wanted? What if this works? What if I can do this? Oh my God, what if? What if in a great way? And number 2, check in with your body. Again, so this was my point earlier. When something comes at you, do you cower, do you shrink, or do you stand up tall? Okay? If you cower, if you shrink, it's reactive. But if you make that conscious decision, no, I'm going to fucking put my chest out and I'm going to face this thing head on, you will see an energetic shift in you from fear to I'm going to fucking own this. Okay, that's what happens when you even change. That's why they say the Superman position is a very powerful one. When you're standing, your hands on your hips and your chest is out and your head is up, that's a power position. It energetically changes you from fear, oh my God, oh no, to fuck yeah, let's do this. Okay, so if I could stand in the Superman pose, or Wonder Woman pose, if you want to call it that. So that's what I have for you all today. This one went long too, because I love talking about manifestation. I love talking about mindset work. It's something I wish I could talk with my family members more about, because it's just fun. It's fun here. Anyway, you're not going to be open to it until you're open to it, So hopefully this episode helped you all out. For my Patreon bonus content, this week, I have 10 journal prompts to help you shift your mindset. So, if you head over to patreon.com/inkedgoddesscreations and you sign up for one of the paid tiers, the bottom one is $5. It does get you access to all of the bonus content for all the podcasts, and it gets you a shout out. So I want to thank Lisa and Moonshine Kelly for being new paid Patreon members. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I want you to tell me either down in the comments on YouTube or Instagram how you found this episode, if it helped you. If you are a person who's had a mindset shift and it completely changed your life, please tell me about it. I love to hear about that. But yeah, if you need any clarification too, just let me know. I can maybe do another one on it. I knew that this one was going to be kind of long, but look, mindset shifting, identity shifting, all of that is what I'm really into learning right now. So I love sharing what I learn. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, and please share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. because it does appease the algorithm and it gets the podcast out to more magically curious people like you. So I want to thank you all for being here, for giving me a platform to share my knowledge and my journey. And I will see you all next week. Bye.